Hello, it is Crimson Duels back with another deck review. I've been a bad YouTuber and I should be saying this more often. If you guys enjoy the content, especially with these deck reviews, really consider subscribing to the channel and liking these videos. It really helps me figure out kind of what content to bring next. But if you've been like me and playing any PvP duels, you have been facing Orcust every way possible with so many different deck combinations. So I wanted to bring one more here, then I think I'm ready to move on to other content for the time being. But here I'm going to go over what I'm calling Orcust Babel, and that name comes from the one and only Orcustrated Babel field card. This is a game changer to me. It can be searched out from the deck using Galatea's effect. It is very, very powerful, as we see it's limited 1, and the reason for that is it allows you to activate Orcust monsters' effects during your opponent's turn, basically as quick effects. Now, what that translates to is if you have something like a Ding in your graveyard, and you also have Cymbal Skeleton in your graveyard, you can activate its effect. You can then summon Ding, and you can bring a monster to your opponent's graveyard. So your turn and your opponent's turn, you can do this on and off with, and it is one more way to kind of cycle through and use your resources that much faster. And the other thing I really like about this deck combination compared to some of the other ones I have is you do have that level of disruption. If you've played against Orcust at all recently, you've probably seen that one of the easiest ways to beat it is to kind of just shut it down the first turn. You can Book of Moon any of the monsters before they link summon into Galatea. You can use any spells or traps outside of that to just kind of steal it or do the general disruption. That being, we have 2 Crackdowns here. We also have an Evac. Any of those can stop it kind of from coming to life, although they work, if it Ding or any of the other monsters are Link Summon, Dixie Summon, so on and so forth. So a lot of disruption, which can be a really good way to counter other people playing Orcust there. But outside of that, the deck is pretty straightforward. We have just kind of the typical Orcust monsters here. I'm going to click through quickly, but obviously the deck list is going to be below. We have this Wrap Recycler, which is going to help you, if you go first, draw this card, then you can make sure that you get Galatea and then Ding out in the first turn there. We have Orcustrated Return, just lets you draw more, and obviously trying to, in hopes of getting the right cards there, and make sure you can get your face downs to protect you a bit. And Orchestrated Release, this is in the other versions, but I don't know if I've mentioned this here. Really, really good card, and the way that you play it basically is activate it when you have Ding on the field, so you can tribute Ding and one other monster there. After they go to your graveyard, you can then bring Ding back, activate the effect, and just one more way to get Ding back on the field and have the ability to bring an opponent's card to the graveyard. So at this time, I'm saying this with a grain of salt because it's sure to change, but this is my favorite way to play Orcust. Being able to use Orchestrated Babel and activate those effects on your opponent's turn, I find is very, very powerful. And, being able to do it twice as often compared to if you don't have it and are using it on the effects on your turn only. So it makes a big difference. And yeah, definitely try this deck out. It is pretty easy to obtain, and have some fun with it. Let me know what you think.